Good morning. I'm here and I was a little bit doubtful. I said I would be here at 9 a.m. Eastern, which is 6 a.m. my time. I'm over on the Pacific Coast in Washington. And I don't know that I could do this any earlier. I actually got home pretty late last night, got into bed pretty late. So I was like, I said I was going to do this. I got to do it. So we're doing a morning yoga practice. Feel free to join along, and I will be leading you through this. So it's basically my personal morning practice, or very similar to it in a way that I can share it with you as well. And if you're interested about learning more about my accountability group, Ash's Yoga School, or creating your own sequencers, or learning a little bit more about yoga, diving a little bit deeper, check out the link that I have in the description, ashesyoga.com, and you can learn more and sign up. So if you'd like to join, grab a yoga mat, grab some clothes, grab whatever you need to feel most comfortable. Of course, this is something, if you do want to practice along, this is at your own pace. Take breaks when you need. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. I can't see you, so I can't help in the way that I would in a regular class. So do your best and use what you like and what you don't like. And if you want to skip something, like I said, that's totally fine. And this should be about 30 minutes or so. My typical morning yoga practice is about 40 minutes. So we're going to just scooch back here. Scooch back here and start our little yoga practice. If you guys have any, recommendations or if there's anything that you're feeling, I can't see it now, but of course you can always let me know before. I'll hopefully be doing these little morning practices or different yoga at different times, not just morning, but yoga practices at different times as just through the course of the next while. I really like sharing this practice. It's one of the things that that makes me feel so good, and especially in morning times, it's critical to start my day, to feel set and ready and rejuvenated and refreshed. So we're just going to start in a simple seated pose. So you can start with your legs crossed. You can sit on your heels. I really like starting this morning practices, morning yoga with some grounding. So coming a little bit closer to the ground and just sitting silently, acknowledging the presence of the universe, of whatever's around you, and really just settling in. So sit comfortable. You can close the eyes and just rest the hands wherever is comfortable. Just allowing yourself a minute or so to tune inward, to check in, and start deeply breathing. I find the breath to be one thing I constantly have to remind myself about, especially in mornings, because it's something that I tend to lose in the course of sleep. So I lose that deep breath. So I come back to it and consciously breathe down into this lower part of my belly. And typically this practice is done before eating breakfast, so I'm not feeling full or there's nothing else going on really in my digestive system to cause any discomfort. So instead, we're just focusing on that breath deep into the bottom of the lungs, using your diaphragm muscles to breathe in and out of your nose. Feeling your shoulders soften, everything softens as you exhale, and inhale draws in that energy. Take a few more breaths, really focusing on slowing down the exhale. Today our goal, our intention is really just to set ourselves up, to wake up and to be present. Okay, one more deep breath. And we'll start to warm up our body. We do that through some neck rotations. So take your chin down to your chest first. And then rock your head side to side. So right ear to right shoulder. And then switch sides, left ear to left shoulder. And you can continue these little half rotations back and forth. Or a full rotation might feel good on you. So rotate all the way around. And you can switch sides anytime. So just kind of feeling where there might be any crinks or cracks in the neck. Oftentimes, we sleep on our pillows, we sleep for a long time. So it's nice to feel, notice what you're feeling in your neck and get that all stretched out, loosened out. We've been pretty stiff for a while, so let's get back to a looser state in our body and our minds to just be able to go with the flow of what comes up today. All right, so bring your head up, roll the shoulders a couple times, back and then forward. We're going to focus on working our spine a little, so this moving in different directions of the spine, so working just the upper body, seated comfortably. So with our breath, let's reach up, big arms, reach to the sky. Exhale, take one hand down, other hand comes across for side bend, stretching into it. And then we take the hands up, reach up, inhale. Other side, exhale. So side bends. And I like to do 3 each direction. And it's important each time in between to really lengthen the body up. And then as you exhale, make sure those shoulders are soft. And your gaze is up towards that top arm, staying close to, or staying in that line of the body side to side. I think that was 3. Let's take both hands down for a moment. Take your hands to your knees. Now we'll work a couple other directions of the spine, forward and backward motion. So we'll round the back, tuck the chin, and then lift and arch. Exhale as you round and pull in. Inhale as you lift and arch. Just one more. Full exhale. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Back to neutral. We have one more little exercise before we start moving a little more. So we reach up those arms. Now we twist. Take one hand to the knee, one hand behind you. Look to the back shoulder. Full exhale before coming out of it, untwisting, unraveling, reach up. Exhale, twist to the side. Inhale, reach up again, 3 each direction. Exhale, twist. Reach and lift. Exhale, twist. Hopefully feeling a little more awake by now. Even just these simple movements, these simple warm-ups can have a lasting effect on you throughout the day. Let's reach up. And then place your hands forward and crawl or swing your legs around to your hands and knees. Just give it a little bit more, warming up. So we go cat and cow, arching the back, lift and look up. Then round the back and look down. That's cat and cow. And also we can just kind of move side to side or make circles in the hips. Just giving some free form movement. Each day is going to be different. Each moment's different. Take it as you need. Okay, quick stretch of the wrists. So you can continue this little spinal movement. Flip your hands so the tops of the hands are on the floor. Continue moving. You can also sink it back. Sit back on the heels. We'll be on our hands for a bit during this practice, so it's good to stretch these out. And especially if you are on a computer or on your phone a lot, let's get these wrists stretched out, feeling good. Then flip the palm so the fingers are still facing you, but your palms are on the ground. And again, sit back. All right, flip the hands. You can actually, let's sit up and shake it out. So I'm sitting on my heels, so it's a little foot stretch. This actually feels a lot better in the evening after walking around a lot all day, but still can be good in the morning. So stretch it out. Make figure eights, wiggle the fingers. Okay, come back to your hands and knees. From the hands and knees, step your feet straight back into plank pose. Oh man. Check in with this plank pose. Anytime we're in a plank pose like this, you can take the knees down. You'll probably see me do that often. So from plank pose, bend the knees softly, then shift back. So your tail will list up and back. We've got down and facing dog. Pedal the feet a couple times. Now we're getting into the calves and the hamstrings. Fingers are spread wide. Make sure that you're pressing the pads of the fingers or the fingertips into the ground, especially through the L shape of the index finger and thumb. Relax the neck, you're looking back towards the back toes. Then walk your feet forward, right between, or right behind your hands. So you got a little bit of width there between. You're gonna fold it down, feel free, I know it's early so you can bend the knees. Grab the elbows and shake out the head. And release the hand. We'll roll ourselves up one vertebra at a time. Up to this standing position. And at this point, I'm going to start sun salutations. You can do a couple other type of movements. I do share some Tai Chi movements in some of my other practices right before sun salutations, but we'll move into sun salutations for this morning. You can either have your feet together or slightly apart. I'm going to take my feet slightly apart. It's a little bit more comfortable for me, so that's up to you. So you're going to stand up nice and tall, rooted through all four corners of each foot. Shoulders roll back and down, standing tall, just like the palms forward. Awesome. Take an inhale as you reach those arms up overhead. And looking up, connect the palms at the top. Exhale, open the arms and dive down, swan dive, forward fold, until your belly's on your thighs, your hands are to the floor. Feel free to bend the knees once again. Then lengthen the back, hands come to the shins for a half lift, looking forward. Then exhale, plant your hands down and step back to your second plank position. Plank position, shoulders over the hands. Take a breath here and acknowledge if you want the knees up or down. Shift forward, bending the elbows into the sides of the body, so keeping them close to you, halfway down or less than that, that's fine. Lift the heart forward, roll the shoulders back. Look slightly up, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes under, roll it back or lift it up and back. Hips high, down and facing dog. And here we're going to take 5 breaths and settling into this pose. At any time, down and facing dog is a bit much. You can come down to the knees and sit back on the heels in child's pose and hold there. That's 2 breaths. In and out through the nose. 3. 4. And 5. Walk your feet forward, or you can jump if you're really into that. Early mornings, I still just like to walk. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Look forward, open those arms, reverse in that swan dive as you lift up. And then hands to your heart. Let's do that 2 more times. Big circle up in the arms, reach up. Exhale, dive down, open the arms, lead with the heart. Slight bend in the knees. Lift and look forward. Halfway, exhale, plant the hand, step, or you can jump back. And right away, from the knees or the toes, we'll shift forward and lower halfway down. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, inhale. Exhale, roll it back, over the toes, lift the hips to down and facing dog. There's a lot of core strength involved in that transition, so do your best. In 5 breaths, getting comfortable in this discomfort, setting our foundation. So if you see yoga people doing different crazy types of poses and all that, or lots of handstands, arm balances, or things that you think look cool, you can be sure that they've spent a lot of hours in downward facing dog and these very basic postures. So it's important to do that first before we do anything that's, like a goal or inspiration pose. Okay, let's walk the feet forward. Walk, half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. This time I'm going to roll it up just because that reverse swan dive didn't feel good to me. So somehow lift yourself up to standing. Reach those arms overhead. Hands to your heart. Okay, big circle of the arms. Inhale, we'll do that one more time. Exhale, open the arms, dive down. Half lift, look forward. Exhale, hand to hand, step it back. Lower into your chaturanga, your low push-up. Looking for lift to up dog or cobra pose. Hips or knees can be down. Exhale to downward facing dog. And 5 breaths. Okay, walk your feet forward or jump if you're so inclined. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up. Reach up overhead. Hands to your heart. That is Sun Salutation A. We'll move on to some Sun Salutation B's. So for B, and we'll do 3 of them as well, keeping it simple. For B, we start with bending the knees, sitting back into a chair pose. Open those arms, reaching up, circle them overhead. As you exhale, hands through the heart center, forward fold. And again, skipping anything that doesn't feel good. Half lift, inhale, look forward. Exhale, hands down, step back to your plank pose. Again, from the knees or the toes, lower halfway to the ground. Lift your heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. For this first one, lift the right leg high, just slowly. Then step between the hands into a low lunge. Back heel seals to the ground. Open up the arms, rise up for warrior 1. Inhale. And then we're right back down. So this is still a warm up, getting our body moving. Step back to plank pose. Deep breath, slowly lower. Inhale, lift your heart, upward dog. Exhale, hips to the sky, to downward facing dog. We'll take that left leg high as you inhale. Step between the hands, exhale. Back heel roots down. Open up the hips a little, rise up. Hips are facing forward, but you feel the legs engage. And then hands to the floor. Step it back. And we always go through, or typically go through, this little yoga flow type of thing. So that plank pose to low plank, up dog to down dog. And then down dog, this is where we reset, catch up, whatever we need to do. and steady our breath again. How's it going? Check in with yourself. Check in with that breath. I know things get a little bit shaky when we hold poses. Okay, one more deep breath. Okay, look forward, bend the knees, step or jump forward. Jumping is fine. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, back to chair pose, bend the knees, sit back. Circle those arms up, reach up. Then hands to your heart, standing up tall. Ready to do that again? Cool. Bend the knees, sit back. Circle those arms up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hands through the heart. This is, again, sun salutation B. We're doing 3 of them. Half lift, look forward. Exhale, plant the hands and step it back. Shift forward a little as you lower halfway down from the knees or toes. Inhale, upward dog, look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Without lifting that right leg, first take a deep breath in. Exhale, step the right foot forward through the hands. Back heel to the ground, just one breath, we rise up to our warrior 1 position. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step it back. Again, shift forward, it helps. Exhale, looking forward, lower and descend halfway. Lift the heart, upward dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Again, without lifting that left leg, we don't want to use momentum. Take a breath in. Left foot, exhale, steps forward. Back heel to the floor again, rise for warrior 1. Hands to the floor, exhale, step it back. High to low plank, shifting forward, lower. I'm always going to my knees just because that feels much better on me. Fill up the heart, exhale, down and facing dog. 5 deep breaths. There's 2. 3. 4. 5. Bend the knees, look forward. Step or hop forward. Top of the mat. Half lift, look forward, inhale. Exhale, fold it down low. Relax your head. Bend the knees again, sit back. Arms up, reach up, circle them up, hands connect, hands to your heart. One more time, sun salutation B, and then we'll move on to a few more poses. So let's bend the knees, arms circle up, chair pose, exhale, hands through the heart, we fold it forward. Inhale, half lift, hands on shins or floor, look forward. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank pose. Deep breath in, looking forward from the knees or toes, bend the elbows, exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog, lift the heart and gaze. Exhale, hips to the sky to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Right foot steps forward as you exhale. Taking it kind of slow still, even though we're still moving constantly. Reach up, inhale. This becomes a moving meditation of sorts, the sun salutation. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step it back. Breathe in as you shift forward. Exhale, lower. So I need a couple extra breaths here, so I'm adding those in. Upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. An extra breath. Inhale, tailbone high. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Back heel to the ground. Reach and rise up. Inhale. Hands to the floor. Exhale. Step back. Shift it forward and lower. Upward dog. Inhale. Last downward facing dog that we're holding for 5 breaths.
And notice what you're feeling in the legs and the body. Keep the neck long, belly drawn in. Knees can be bent if that's more helpful for you. Same with the elbows a little bit. Okay, walk or step the feet forward, bend the knees, step or jump forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, sit back, chair pose, reach up. And then hands to your heart, letting it go. Good, so we're gonna go through some of the poses that I typically do for my morning practice, and a lot of this comes from Ashtanga. So it's just some sequences of standing poses, because standing poses, at this time, our bodies are worn, ready to go. This is a great time if you wanna sit again and recover and be done. That was about 15 to 20 minutes or so. But we're going to add a few standing poses to get a little bit more heat built in our bodies, a little bit more energy, and to wake us up a little bit more. So this is more of the higher level of class, a little bit more energizing. Doesn't mean it's harder, it just means there's a little bit more effort being exerted. So let's take our feet. I'm going to face you guys now. Well, kind of, yeah. Hey, face you guys. So take your feet hip distance apart, hands on your hips. Deep breath in. Then fold it forward, grabbing on with your peace sign fingers to your big toes. Look forward and inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows and pull yourself down and through. So stepping to the side, slight bend in the knees, but my weight shifted forward into my toes or into the top to the feet. And I'm folding. And you might look more like, down here with the knees bent. That's okay. All right, now take your hands underneath your feet, tops of hands underneath the feet, slide them under, bloop, 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 and then pull down again. This is a nice little wrist release, especially if you're not used to being in downward facing dog a lot. So you're stepping on the hands, shifting forward and pulling down by the elbows. So you get a back stretch too, back and hamstrings. All right, release your hands from your feet. Hands can go on your hips, and we lift up. And step your feet out wider, so you may go to the side of the mat. Wide toes are facing parallel to each other. Then take one foot. Take the right foot, turn it out to the side. Notice my hips, they do this little thing here. Let's keep them level. Actually, turn them a little bit towards that foot that's pointed away from you. Open the arms. Reach as long as you can. Right hand anywhere down the leg, foot, or floor. This is triangle pose. Another thing we could do to add more core strength, if you've got the depth, is to hook onto your big toe and pull upward. I'm going to keep my hand on my ankle today. Look up towards that left hand. And each pose, I like to hold about 5 breaths. It's going to help you feel something, get into it in just enough of a way. Okay, we lift it back up, open up the arms. Now pivot. So now the right foot turns in, left foot turns out. Hips more towards that foot pointed away. Reach way forward. Left hand down, right hand up, triangle pose, other side. And we're extending through both sides of our waist and our spine. Right hip bump and back. And then pressing the upper body back. For me, it's towards the fireplace a little bit, just so that I can feel more length. A little bit like a twist and a back bend. But we're stable here. A little bit of a balance pose too. Pretty stable, but feel the balance. Feel that challenge. You bend the knee, lift up. I like to bend my knee before I lift. It just helps. Pivot. Let's go to the other side again. Hands on your hips. This time we're going to take the feet a little wider apart, meaning to the hip distance or so as you're turned. doing revolved triangles. So the opposite, or just a twisted version of what we just did, take your opposite hand. So this is my right foot in front, left hand reaches forward, way forward, straight legs. Hand can be on the leg, it can be on the floor on the inside of the foot, or the last version is on the outside of the foot. Today I'm going inside of the foot, creating a little bit more space for me to twist. Left arm reaches up, or hand can stay on the hip. So we start to turn the shoulders and the torso towards that right leg, that front leg, stacking the shoulders one over the other. And coming out of this, like bend in that front knee, lift up, it's a big windmill rotation, open, pivot to the other side. Pivot, pivot. Again, you might need a little wider stance, so adjust as needed. Right hand comes way forward, inhale, reaching, exhale, hand placing anywhere down on the floor or the foot. Back heel is sealed to the ground, legs are straight. We turn the torso and twist. Okay, lifting out of that, bend that front knee, lift up, open up, reach up. Let's take it a little bit wider, heel toe a little wider. Turn the right foot again, but bend the knee this time. This is a warrior two position. Shift forward, reaching with that right hand, elbow to the thigh, left arm goes straight up. Palm facing the front of your mat. So you can keep your right elbow on your thigh or hand to the outside of your foot, extending the left arm and looking up. We've got side angle. Today I'm keeping the simple variation. It's a good time to check in with your breath in each pose, and that's where you're going to find whether you want to stay with a simpler variation or intensify into something a bit more challenging. Okay, we lift it back up, switch sides, pivot the feet. Simple, simple, right? Bend that left knee this time, warrior two to start with. Then lean forward, elbow to the thigh, and we reach up. You can bend a little deeper, extend the right arm is good, or left hand to the outside of the foot. Let's turn your body, right shoulder rolling back, look up, breathe. Okay, let's lift it back up, take an inhale. We're going to twist it again, this time into a lunge. So we twist, turn, bend the right knee. I'm going to start with that back knee down. Left elbow over the right leg, starting with a prayer twist, and then adding on from there. We can straighten the back leg, open the arms. I'm going to actually do a twist where a low lunge twist with my left hand on the inside of the foot. That just helps me personally right now. So we twist and look over that right shoulder. Reach up, look up. Okay, coming out of this, untwist, unwind, stand up, open to the start position, and then switch sides. Pivot, take the back knee down to start. As you exhale, twist over that left leg. Or do what you need to do to feel this pose. This is a revolved side angle, but to me right now we're just doing a revolved low lunge.
You're gonna lift it back up, lift and open. Awesome. Let's take the feet together, not together, slightly apart with the toes turned out so your feet are about hip distance. Reach up, inhale, exhale, hands to your heart, bend the knees, sitting into your squat position. Then take the left hand to the ground, so pressing the elbow into the knee, or the right hand, whichever way you're looking at. Reach up, open, and twist. And then switch sides. So this practice is pretty simple. I'm not going to add a whole lot, but we're making it like a 30-minute practice. Something that you can do in the morning without thinking about a whole lot. And hands back to your heart. And from the squat position, you might be up here, that's okay. We're going to sit down. So you can take your hands behind you and sit. Take the feet together, the knees open wide. Grab onto the feet. Deep breath in. Exhale, pull yourself forward. If you find that your knees are really high, you can sit on a pillow or a block if you have one, or a stack of books. That works too. Okay, lift up. One of my favorite things to do after some standing poses when I come down to the ground is to do a pigeon pose. So we are going to, however this looks for you, keep your right foot forward, knee on the ground, left leg swings around, and then roll onto that left hip. Right knee is in line with the right shoulder. Sometimes this can be a bit intense in the morning, so take it to your own level. And then fold to your degree. So you can walk the hands forward, finding a place that's comfortable for you. Breathing into this, maybe a couple more than 5 breaths. And then we walk the hands up. We'll just switch sides. So you bring the back leg around. Pretty simple. Simple transition. Bring that front leg back behind you. Again, roll onto that straight leg side. Notice how you're feeling this morning. Shoulders stay forward. And then we walk it down to where it's comfortable for you. Okay, let's walk the hands back, lifting out of this pigeon pose. Swing the legs around. Take your feet to that hip distance and knees bent, hands behind you. Then lift up, open up. Got reverse tabletop. Look up or slightly back. And lower back down. Knees together, hands behind your thighs, lean back 45 degrees or so, and lift the legs, reaching forward. Let's work a little core strength. Boat pose.
Lift and reach. Let's add some movement to this. So inhale, lift the feet if you can. Exhale, big toes tap down to the floor. We'll do that 5 times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, big toes to the floor. There's 2. Inhale, lift. Toes to the floor. 3. Lift. Toes to floor. Lift. Just the big toes, like you're testing water, testing the temperature of water. And lift. Good. Feet down, straight legs this time. Straight legs, hands behind you. Lift to reverse plank. Get the big toes to touch the floor. And then lower back down. Feet at the top of the mat. Reach those arms up. Feet together. Hinge at the waist, folding forward. Reach for the toes. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull yourself down and forward. That's a big thing. It's pulling yourself forward, not just down. And go ahead and round the back a little bit more. Let's start to shift back, reaching for the toes where we're rolling down to the floor. So round at the back, tucking the chin. Point the toes if that helps. And roll yourself to the ground, 1 vertebra at a time. Reach back behind you when you get there. Big long stretch. And hug it. I always yawn when I do that long body stretch. So we'll hug the knees in and rock side to side. Simple to end. Take the feet to the floor about hip distance. It's a morning practice, so we need a little more energy. How do we do that? Press into the heels and the feet. Lift the hips. Low back. Hands on the ground. Squeeze the shoulders together into our bridge pose. 5 breaths is always a good thing. It's a good amount of time. Deep inhale, slow exhales. And we lower back down to the ground. Nice, nice. Then take your knees to the floor, or take your right knee in, left leg extended. Hug your knee to shoulder. Then exhale, so you take the leg across your body. So you can even pick up this left hip across your body to twist into it. Right arm and right shoulder, the opposite. Actually, same as the leg you draw across. Make sure that the shoulder and the hand are on the floor. Twists are helpful for neutralizing the body, resetting your spine, feeling back to a set position. Let's bring it back, bring that leg back in, hug the knee in, squeeze it in close, reset, and then switch it. Extend the right leg, left leg in, and exhale as you take that across your body. Pick up that hip a little bit, extend left arm, left shoulder to the floor. I need to remember to turn off my sound to things, because that can be a very distracting sound for most people. The text message sound. Whoops. Anyway, let's take it back. Knee hugs in. And extend. So stay lying on the floor. Let's lift the feet together, knees open wide. Hands resting by your side or on your belly, your chest, your heart, wherever's comfortable. Stay there. I'm just going to turn my sound off. Done. Open knees. Hands where's comfortable. Close your eyes. Just a few breaths allowing gravity to draw your knees down, open the hips a little bit more. Stay relaxed. Okay, lift the legs back up. Easy peasy. Knees to your chest. Roll it out side to side. And we'll do just like a minute of Shavasana or so. So to keep it easy by extending both legs forward and down. Toes turn out. Hands by your side. Close your eyes and relax. Enjoy this moment of silence, of peace, before the chaos of the day, before whatever comes into your life. Just allow this time to be present, to be quiet, still, and really just take it all in as you relax. You start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Shake out your wrists and your ankles. Reach long again, wall to wall. And bend the knees and roll onto a side that's comfortable for you. Use your top hand to press yourself up to a seated pose where we'll finish our practice together. Taking that deep breath, reach those arms up, hands to your heart. We're sealing the practice, bringing in gratitude, love, appreciation, all good things to start our day. Thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure to be here today. Now I feel so much better. I hope you do too. There's always the replay. You can watch as well. And again, just thank you for joining. Namaste. And that's that. So if you are interested in more of this, just be sure to tune in, to tune inward, but also to pay attention to what's going on in this space. So I also have my online yoga community, which is a great group of people right now who are creating their own yoga sequences, looking for accountability
and all of that. So this practice, I guess, was a little bit longer than I thought. When I do it by myself, I go a little faster, and of course, I actually do a lot more than this as far as poses go, but I'm really trying to slow it down to help those who want a little bit more explanation. So if this was good, let me know, and I'd love to do more of this. I just need to know if it's helpful for you, or I might just keep doing it because it's good for both of us. So that's that, and I hope to see you next time. All right, let's scooch in. Bye guys, good morning.